Despite those red flags, investigators don't believe that Danley had any prior knowledge of the attack. Well, good morning. We just got to the scene a few minutes ago. Right now, it looks like they're starting to clear things up. I want to step out of the way. This snowbank here, it's taller than I am. And if you look over here right across the street, some homes are completely shut in. We'll let you be the judge. Check this out. This is the post with Judge Almasi and The Rock. But if you look over here, this is a Facebook post from a few months before, and you can see the same smile, the same dress. This all happened right here at this wash, and you can see right now the water level is low, but when that monsoon hit, the water quickly rose, and Michael Hames was underneath this tunnel trying to rescue people when he was swept away. Well, Chick-fil-A for life. That's the perk offered to one lucky little girl after her mother gave birth inside the fast food chain. Fast-moving storms flooding neighborhoods, and there's a new round of hot, dry weather hitting the wildfire zones in the west. In the last half hour or so, we saw a caravan of maybe 9 or 10 what looked like federal investigators' unmarked cars all going down this street. From the outside, this is a pristine house. You would never know that this is where that mass shooting suspect lived. Well, cookie crackdown. All one little girl wanted to do was sell some homemade cookies and water near her Cedar Falls, Iowa neighborhood. And she was doing it well, in fact, too well. Neighbors calling the cops because they didn't like all the traffic. The scary thing about all this is that you become a victim twice. It all starts as you're just driving along when someone rear-ends you. At this point, as they're walking towards your car, you probably expect they're coming to apologize or exchange insurance information, but instead, they pull a gun and rob you. We begin tonight with an update on some breaking news we've been following. A hostage situation has come to an end after a man barricaded himself inside a Trader Joe's in Los Angeles. The suspect is now in custody and at least one person is dead. We get the latest details on how this all unfolded from ABC's Elizabeth Hurt. Well, new tonight, bridging the gap between the community and law enforcement. 13 Action News reporter Austin Carter gives us a closer look at an event that was held right here in the Valley that police hope will create new relationships. New video out of Florida shining a spotlight on the state's Stand Your Ground law after a father was shot and killed over a parking space. The Mega Millions jackpot has gone up once again, so you might want to head on down to the state line to get in on the $493 million drawing. This now marks the 5th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history. It's expected to rise again before Tuesday's drawing. The winner could get a cash payout of $260 million. Well, still to come, a warning for all video gamers. A teen targeted by a scammer while playing Fortnite. Americans have $1.5 trillion in student loan debt. Now we're finding out parents are taking on just as much burden as their kids are. Scripps reporter Andy Taylor has one dad's warning. Well, students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, brought their March Against Gun Violence to New Orleans this weekend. The student activists are survivors of a mass shooting in February that killed 17 people. The National Rifle Association says New York regulators could leave the organization in serious financial trouble, and the NRA is pursuing court action in an attempt to stop them. With 2 floors and a backyard, you'd think the house for sale on Christie Lane would draw more people in. But instead, the owners say squatters blocked their sale. We went to check it out and found this pile of junk in the yard. Do you stay here?
No, I am just looking for my wallet.
And a not-so-friendly welcome.
I will knock you out. Don't get anywhere near me. And you better leave me the alone. Censor that.
For the owners, it's not the first time. They rushed over when we told them we saw people on the property.
I mean, it's just one of those things where you know, it's a vacant, they find out it's vacant, and they find their way in.
Police were called.
Metro Police, anybody come out?
They didn't find anyone today, but just this weekend, Metro kicked out 6 people from the house, including James Harvey, arrested for possession of narcotics. The owners changed the locks, but it didn't help. Now, even though they changed all the locks again yesterday, that didn't stop the squatters from finding a way in. They came to the side of the house, found the lock on this fence, broke through it. Then they picked their way through the sliding glass door and made themselves at home again. Inside, a mess.
A mattress in here, just chilling.
The bathroom, too gross to show on air.
With feces and all kinds of different stuff in there.
And that's just the downstairs. Go upstairs.
Food everywhere.
Pizza and food on the floor. Neighbors say they've seen people in and out for weeks.
Before, this neighborhood is good, but now, no.
Have to get them out because who knows what they're going to do next.
Meanwhile, it's back to the drawing board for buyers. The sign will stay up.
Keeping our fingers crossed to try and keep the problem from happening again.
It's amazing what a single note can do.
To be able to give that power of music and healing.
Something Las Vegas knows all too well.
Every single person in this orchestra has had someone affected by what happened.
Even as Deanne Letourneau warms up, thinking of those like her friend Rosemarie fighting for their lives.
She's gone through 4, possibly 5 surgeries at this point and still in critical condition on life support.
Strumming away with a heavy heart.
It's very special.
Special because of who's in the audience.
First responders, families of the victims, anyone who is really directly or even indirectly affected by the tragedy on October 1st.
Hundreds of first responders getting a night out under much better circumstances.
It was important for us to work through those emotions during the rehearsal so that we can be there for the audience.
The songs especially picked to embody the idea of Vegas Strong, a reminder that even in our darkest hour, our city's song marches on.
And any act in the world that's happened like that will never stop us. As a society and as a city, it can't stop us. We're bigger than that.
Tom George, 13 Action News. For 3 generations of Mendiolas, serving up food at Roberto's Taco Shop has been a labor of love.
It makes everybody feel like they're family. You know, when you go to eat, like, you're not just going to eat, you're going to eat somewhere you're comfortable, where you're happy, you know?
For Marcos, a regular Tuesday night in the kitchen ended with this, the whole kitchen covered in blood. So much blood, in fact, we have to blur the disturbing images. All after 2 men and a woman came in asking for nachos.
And he wanted chicken on top of the carne asada, and we can't do both meats, we can only place one.
That change in the order was enough to set the man off, first berating the father of 6.
Saying like how he makes more money than him and how he makes more money than Roberto's.
And then getting physical.
The guy just ran around and just attacked him.
Out of the blue, Mendiola was stabbed multiple times.
14 times, 2 to the head.
The customers ran off and Mendiola was taken to the hospital. It's still hard for him to talk. He says he can't understand why he was attacked, even though he said changing the order wouldn't be a problem.
What if we would have lost a life? What if I would have lost my father?
His family just wants the suspects caught, and for people to remember something the next time they order food.
We do our best to treat them how we would want to be treated, but it's hard when people are so negative and so cruel.
Remember that that person behind the counter is someone's family.
He could do anything. He's my superhero.
Tom George, 13 Action News.